The land of Iwakuni was governed as a single domain, which was profitable with paper production and other industries, and which produced a rice crop that grew to 60,000 koku. However, the Iwakuni lordship succession was not given official status by the Tokugawa shogunate, and the lord of Iwakuni was not formally a daimyo. The social status of the Kikawa family was considered lower than all of the daimyo in Japan. This discrimination made itself known in a number of ways. For example, when daimyo from other domains crossed the Kintai Bridge, they passed in front of the Iwakuni lord's castle with their spears raised instead of lowering them in the usual sign of respect. This greatly offended the pride of the domain. It is said that for this reason, the Iwakuni lord planted the yarikokashi pine. Because the hanging branches of this pine tree were in the way, the daimyo had to lower their spears in order to pass. This story shows the determination of the Iwakuni lord to, at the very least, force the daimyo to lower their spears. The lords of Iwakuni, pained by the forced discrimination in social status, worked constantly on plans to have their family's status raised, petitioning first the senior Mori family and later the Tokugawa shogunate. These efforts lasted until the Meiji Restoration, a period of 200 years. In the first year of the Meiji period, their long-sought goal was finally reached, and the lord of Iwakuni was recognized as a daimyo. However, in the fourth year of the Meiji period, the Iwakuni domain was abolished when all feudal domains were replaced with prefectures. The Iwakuni domain was recognized as a formal domain for a period of only 2 years. Although for many generations the Iwakuni lord was not recognized as a daimyo, Iwakuni nonetheless developed very high levels of industry, culture, military arts, and learning. Without these advanced skills, the construction of this remarkable bridge would not have been possible.
岩国藩と錦帯橋の歴史を調べていくと、一つの仮説が浮かんできます。錦帯橋はわずか7年で城を失うことになった岩国藩にとって、城に代わるシンボルだったのではということ。この橋を渡らなければ藩主に会えない、藩の心臓部に行くことができないということは、錦帯橋はいわば縄文の役割を果たしていたのではないでしょうか。そして必然的に生まれたこの橋が岩国藩士の心の拠り所となった、そんな気がしてきます。
The Kintai Bridge, constructed by Hiroyoshi, stood for nearly 3 centuries. The bridge was repaired and rebuilt more than 100 times, with improvements and changes made each time. This Kintai Bridge was loved and protected by a great many people during its long history. Then, in September 1950, it was struck by a typhoon and flood. In a desperate effort to save the bridge, people braved the violent wind and rain to place giant barrels filled with water on the bridge, hoping to prevent it from being washed away. It was no use. The stone footings which supported the bridge began to crumble, and piece by piece, the bridge was washed into the muddy water. As expected, the bridge was washed away due to the loosening of the base stones. At that time, shortly after the end of the war, the economic cost of maintaining the bridge was high, and it had been impossible to perform more than limited bridge repairs. A regional movement was started, demanding that the Kintai Bridge be reconstructed in its original form. As a result, with assistance from the national and prefectural governments, the Showa reconstruction was started. Showa engineers utilized the astonishing skills they had inherited from their ancestors, while at the same time also adding new, modern construction methods. In 1953, year 28 of the Showa period, the reconstruction of the Kintai Bridge was completed. After construction lasting nearly 2 years, the bridge was reborn in exactly the same form as when it was first constructed. This is the flood-proof bridge that brought the dream of the Iwakuni Domain to life. This near-miraculous bridge has overcome numerous failures and trials to stand for many long generations. In it, we can see the many people of Iwakuni who have continued to care for the bridge. Even when the clear waters of the Nishikigawa River were transformed to a raging flood by a storm, they never gave up. They most certainly deserve our admiration for their wisdom, passion, and unconquerable spirit. It is our great responsibility and our honor to preserve the majestic bridge that you see here for future generations, and to communicate to them its important history and spirit of our ancestors.